Well, I always adored reading. It was my favorite thing to do because when you read a book, you can become part of a story. Your imagination just ignites as a little kid. I loved it. I loved books more than movies.
Yeah, she was the only child too. We should add that. I didn't like reading so much because we didn't grow up doing that. In fact, I played sports. I was okay growing up, K5 through fifth grade, but once I hit junior high, that's when the struggling began for me. My mother, about 2 years ago, framed a piece of work that I did in seventh grade, and it said basically at the top of the page, "Mom," and then you basically had to write about your mom, what you thought about your mom. So this was 2 years ago for Mother's Day. I'm reading it, and I'm just going through, picking out all the grammatical mistakes and all the misspellings. I just wanted to say, why didn't you help? And she goes, no one was helping anyone back then. It was just, you know what? You're not picking it up, but do your best. And that was it. And my big thing was that I tell people I was too dumb to realize, wait, I'm being made fun of. People are mocking me. And I just sort of ignored them. And that was the thing that my parents said, well, that's the thing that helped you because a lot of kids aren't like that. So, but it was my freshman year in high school. That was the turning point to where I thought, I got to do something because this is ridiculous. And I shouldn't be feeling this way as a freshman in high school. I was a big sports guy. So it was no pass or no play. So if you don't pass, you don't play it. Well, my thing was like, I got to work extra hard just to be able to pass. So my grades did improve. I graduate, but before I graduate, I tear my knee up, an ACL injury. So that means no sports. So now it's like, okay, so now am I still going to college? Because high school, junior high, elementary was such a struggle. Why in the world would I want to go to college? Oh, this is literally going to be hell on earth. And it was.
And it was for
all
you.
10
It
years.
was. But the point about saying, there are those kids that if they don't have the outlet of sports or a great personality, they are going to get lost. They're going to get lost in school and they're going to feel stupid. Yeah, you were diagnosed at what, 35?
35 years old.
Dyslexia.
And
So
the guy just laughed. He said, you are classic. And he goes, I'm trying to figure out why no one noticed any of this growing up. And I said, well, my wife did.
But it was obvious that it was a reading problem. I said, when looking back through all those little worksheets that he had from kindergarten to, high school, it was obvious that that is what was holding him back. I felt like it made sense for my daughter. I felt like once I knew what his problem was and I saw where she was struggling, it all made sense that they have had the same reading problem.
What happened was when that first grade teacher came to us with our 10-year-old and said, hey, I think she may have some issues here we want to look at. We're like, oh, great. Well, what does the school have for her? Well, the school doesn't have anything for her. You may have to go outside and get help.
We don't have a spot for her this year.
And that's really the big thing with Hooked on Phonics. I mean, this is such a great aid to sit there and go, oh, this is such a grind. It's 11:30. You got to get this.
And Hooked on Phonics does it for you. It's not hard.
Right.
I think you think I'm not a teacher. I'm not a professional. I'm not a language therapist. I don't know what I'm doing. It's all there for you. It's not difficult. The plan's right there. You can follow along. It's really simple. And so as a parent, it's doable.
When we pulled that box out, when the older one combined with the tutor and we pulled that box out, she was thrilled like, oh, this is a treat. But it's one of those things, it's attention getting, it's attention grabbing. And I think that's the biggest thing for us because our kid is wired differently from a lot of other kids.
It makes learning fun, and it makes something that a child might be struggling with, it makes it not a grind. And so they can watch the DVDs, they can look at the little animated people and hear the beautiful music, whether it's a little country song that they're doing or a snippet from a classical piece, and they're having a good time while they're listening to it. So it wasn't like something that was work. It's enjoyable.
Our girls love to sing and they love to dance. So we plug in that video and she's doing a little dance in her tutu and she's having a blast. Mommy, let's do it again. Yeah. Okay, you got it. Let's do it again. So the whole time she's learning about the D's and the E's
she's
and
learning,
the A's
but she
and the
thinks
B's.
she's playing.
Yeah, she thinks she's playing, but it's fun because she doesn't know like, oh, we're sort of teaching here. Yeah, there you go. Oh, okay, here you go. You like that video? Well, let's play around. Oh, we'll put a tutu on, by the way, and we'll call it dancing and having fun. So.
And all the manipulatives too. When it'll, say if it's, bee, and it says, make a bee with blueberries today, and then your child can eat them. Well, they get that, and they can taste it, so it engages their senses, and they can touch the blueberries and make a bee. So they're really understanding it. It's just not holding up a black and white card and saying, "Okay, honey, learn bee, learn bee." They want their little sisters to get it, and I think they want them to enjoy reading like they do now. So they're kind of passing down that excitement about reading. And then here's Evangela, who thinks, "Ooh, this is fun, and I get to color too." So
Well,
she's going to think that reading is the most fun thing ever.
she sees the 3.5-year-old like having fun. Like, wait a second, what in the world? I hear some cool music, and mom's over there, and they're dancing, and they're eating, and they're having fun with it. So the 3.5-year-old and now the 2-year-old, they're really like, this is Christmas for them when they pull this box out and they get all these treats, and it's not a shiny little doll that's sparkly, and it's not a tutu, but it's a disc. And now the 10-year-old could say, "You want to watch this disc?" And the 3.5-year-old's like, "Yeah, I sure do." And so they'll put it in there, and they're little mamas over there teaching their little 3.5-year-old and 2-year-old sister how it works.
Well, I was so impressed with the level of quality with the animation on the DVDs and in the booklets. It's so well done. It's beautifully written. The colors are great. Everything is fluid in the whole curriculum, and the animation is just fun.
And I love the rewards, the stickers and the stars and everything that
The
basically
girls
says
always want the stickers.
when they pass something or they can say their ABCs or whatever. The 3.5-year-old now, when she does something like that, she absolutely forget the pink pony, that she loves. She gets a sticker or a star or something that validates, hey, you learned that, you did a great job. She goes absolutely nuts. We'll be in the car on vacation or be in the car doing something, going somewhere, and all of a sudden it comes up, the teaching from the 3.5-year-old singing the song or saying,
Or I see a D, mommy.
or if someone says, "Hey, there's a B in our card. Get it out." She'll go B, and then she'll start
B says
saying,
ba.
"Yeah, B says that," and she'll start doing all that type of stuff. So it's a thrill when the teacher is the Hooked on Phonics and they're reciting and quoting stuff from what they learned on Hooked on Phonics. So.
Well, I think as parents, you want your child to have confidence in learning. And, in the elementary, and they say, "Oh, read aloud in class." Well, that can either be a fun thing for you as a kid. Like for me, I loved reading aloud. I thought it was fun. But to a lot of kids, that can be one of the most terrifying experiences of their life. So what Hooked on Phonics does is learning with this fantastic program at home with your parents, facilitating it. She could go to school and feel like, I can read aloud now and not be embarrassed. And for me as a mom, that's huge.
We'll see parents now who struggle, and the whole time we're sitting there thinking, should have gotten hooked on phonics, should have gotten hooked on phonics. Like, have you tried hooked on phonics? Yeah, it worked for us, it's probably going to work for you guys. In fact, we know it'll work for you guys. And this is help. It's the greatest help that parents could use in assisting them with whatever the need is.
In my opinion, Hooked on Phonics is the greatest tool to give your child. It's the greatest gift you can give them because it sets them up for lifelong learning. And you know what they know at the end of it, and they'll be set up for school.